Welcome back to the Chill and Chat Talk Show.
Always looking forward to chilling with you, Trish.
Aw, thank you.
And of course, chatting with our guest today.
Yes, today it's all about personal growth and learning about ourselves.
And you know what? That is so important to keep on learning and growing. And you've done lots of that. Lots of personal growth seminars.
I have done a lot in my life. I love to go deep, dig deep. I really love it, actually.
Yeah. So what would you say is the most impacting seminar or program that you've done?
Oh, I've had so many really impacting ones.
Yeah.
Life Directions was probably my favorite, but I had this one that was the most crazy, and it was called Warrior Camp.
Ooh, warrior, I like that.
It was like 5 crazy days of intense facing your fears, like literally facing your fears.
So what sort of things did you have to face?
Well, there was this walking on coals, and I'm talking 25 feet.
Hang on, like coals, like hot coals?
Yes, like fire.
Oh my
And
God. Okay, that's crazy.
And it was actually the easiest of all the events I had to do.
Okay.
If you can believe, fire walking was the easiest one for me.
Okay, well, first of all, I have to say that sounds very dangerous.
It wasn't that dangerous.
Okay, and the other thing is, if that's the easiest, I'd hate to hear what the other things are, but what did you learn from that? Like, what is the purpose of walking on coals?
We were facing 25 feet of burning coals, and they were like red hot.
Yeah.
And we were told that we had to keep our eyes at the end.
Okay.
If anyone looked down and got scared, they could easily jump off.
Okay.
And the ones who looked down actually did get a little burnt.
Oh
So
my
you
goodness.
had to just be really focused and go for it. It was a really great life lesson.
you had
That's
to-
really true in life. You're going to walk through trouble, but keep your eyes focused on the goal.
Okay.
So that was the purpose of that, and it was amazing.
Okay, I think I'd like to maybe have another example of testing that, not walking on hot coals. But okay, if that's the easiest one, okay, what were the harder things that you had to face?
Well, I had to face my fear of heights, and I actually didn't really have a fear of heights until I faced it.
Okay.
I had to stand on the top of a telephone pole.
Hang on.
On a little tiny space.
You had to
stand up tall.
Okay, you had to stand.
I did have the gear that if I fell, I wouldn't die, but I would probably get hurt if I would have fallen.
So you had to actually stand on top of a telephone pole.
Yes, it was pretty crazy. And then there was other things I had to do. I'm pretty sure I was fighting for my life, and I think I had a near-death experience. And when I say that,
Oh my God.
I know, it's crazy. I was actually watching my body, and I was not in my body. It was very interesting.
Ooh.
And then there was the sweat lodge. Oh my goodness, Jenny, you would never be able to do
No, I don't like
sweat
hot.
lodge.
Don't like to be hot. No.
Anyways, it was pitch black, unbearably hot, but I saw visions in full color. Explain that.
Oh my goodness. So that
was strange.
And this was a 5-day event.
5-day intense event.
That sounds very intense. And I hope that company has good liability insurance because that's.
I think they do. I really think they do.
Oh my goodness.
So how about you?
Well, no, I mean, I have to say the hardest thing I've ever had to deal with was at the Scandinavian spa in Whistler, where you had to sit in all these baths and saunas, and you had to go from hot to cold. But the worst thing was you couldn't talk for hours. Like, you had to completely disconnect.
Oh my goodness, not talk?
Not talk.
That must have been really hard for you.
It was very hard, and I got in trouble a couple times.
I can imagine that you did.
Be quiet.
Were you at least allowed to relax with some wine?
No wine. Hey, and speaking of wine, up next, Utterly Uncorked.
Welcome to Utterly Uncorked.
And today we have another, of course, BC wine
Yes.
from Oliver, the Golden Mile.
Yes. Tinhorn Creek.
Tinhorn Creek.
A 2018 Cabernet Franc.
Nice. And Tinhorn actually comes from it used to be an old mining site. So
Yes.
yeah, it's pretty interesting.
I know, very interesting. Now, I love this winery. We used to go there a lot when our kids were little.
Oh, okay.
And
Nice.
we used to stay in their guest house. We had a
Oh, they
connection
have
through
guest
a
homes?
client.
Like, can you rent them out or?
There was only one.
Right.
And so we used to, I think we got it like for a week every summer for a couple
Wow.
of years. It was so
Fun.
nice. We'd swim in the pool. They had wine tasting, like juice for the kids. It
Yeah.
was so fun.
Aw,
We
that's
loved
nice.
it. It's so amazing.
Okay, let's try it.
All right.
Okay, so swirl Oops. Definitely berry.
Very
Red
pronounced.
berries, yeah.
Cherries,
Okay.
berries.
Yeah.
All right.
Oh, cheers.
Cheers.
Cheers. Definitely cherries.
Cherries
yeah.
and red raspberries.
Mm.
Very full
vanilla.
body.
I think it's vanilla.
Vanilla.
Yeah.
Oh, I love
Yeah.
this wine.
Yeah, it's very nice.
All right.
Yeah.
Well, let's move on to Wine Wars.
Oh, wine wars. Okay.
Okay. This is our weekly wine war to where we test each other's knowledge of wine. All right. So,
Always scared.
do you want to go first?
Sure.
All right.
Okay, so
I'm
trivia
nervous.
cards.
All right.
Okay, so okay, I'm gonna do cork culture.
Okay. So,
So
those,
that's a pink.
the pink category.
Okay. So,
All right.
what is meant by a restaurant patron who proclaims ABC while considering a white wine list?
White wine? Oh, that's easy. My sister, she does this.
Oh, okay, because I have no idea.
If you say ABC, that
Yeah.
means anything but Chardonnay.
Oh.
My sister does not like Chardonnay.
Okay, which
Karen.
okay.
Yes.
You're right. Anything but Chardonnay. So,
Yes.
Oh, okay, good. I had no idea.
Yeah, I don't know why some people don't like it. It's kind of weird,
Okay,
but it's great wine. All right, I'll do you next then.
sure.
And I'm going to do the category wine cellar. Are you
Ooh.
nervous?
Wine cellar. I like that.
All right, wine cellar. How much time does your nose have to assess wine aromas in a swirled glass before nose fatigue sets in?
Mm.
Is it 6, 12, or 24 seconds?
Okay, I'm gonna guess 6 because in our W set they said that it's very fast, and the only way that you can reset your smell so you can smell again is by sniffing your skin.
Yes, I remember that.
Yeah,
yes.
so I'm gonna say 6.
Well, let's see. Are you correct? Ding, ding, ding. Yes, 6 seconds.
Awesome. You know what? We learned so much from that W set.
I know. I
Yeah.
highly recommend it to everybody.
Yeah.
So speaking of
Yeah.
W set,
Yes. Oh.
we're a little nervous,
Yes.
but we're going to do this publicly in front of everybody. We got
right.
our scores back.
Okay, so we already found out that we passed.
We found out we passed.
But now we actually got our envelope and with our
And we
marks
don't
in,
know each other's scores.
and we're gonna see actually who had the highest mark because we're not competitive at all.
Well, you had to have 70% to pass.
Yes. Okay, hang on. So whoever has the highest mark gets what?
They get, the other one has to take them out for a glass of wine.
Oh, I like that.
All right.
And that makes me a little nervous though because you've been a little overconfident, like you've gotten a really high mark. So just one quick question.
Okay.
Okay, was it over 90% your mark?
Oh, do I have to tell you?
Yes, just so I know like how close I am to.
No, let's just surprise each other.
All right.
Okay. Oh, look, so we got this little pin here. Oh, it's our little graduation pin.
I
Oh,
got-
yours
Mine just went flying down. Look.
Wow, beautiful. It's a
That's very
lady
nice.
holding a glass of
Ooh,
wine.
I like that.
Very
Okay.
nice. All right. And, oh, I love these certificates. On the certificate, it just says pass.
Oh, it
Orange,
doesn't have our mark on here?
orange
Oh,
to
pass.
match the
Yes,
orange button.
nice. Okay.
That must be the category orange. We are category orange.
Okay. So next one.
Next one.
Okay.
Drum roll.
Hang on. Okay, how are we gonna do this? Okay, just tell me this. Are you over 90?
I am over 90.
Okay,
Are
I'm
you?
over 92.
Oh, I'm nervous. Oh.
Okay. Are you above 95?
Okay, let's just say it.
Okay. Like at the same time?
Sure.
And turn at the same time?
Okay, at the same time. And, go.
93.
93.
What?
You got 93?
Oh my god. Okay.
We both got 93.
How is it? Yeah, look at that.
Oh my
Okay,
goodness.
let me see.
93.
Okay, hang on. Let me see. Let me just check. Okay, 93.
93.
Okay.
Now, how did Duck do?
Well, maybe that's his story to tell.
Oh, okay.
How did
but-
Bruce do?
Well, I don't think he minds me telling, but I beat him. He got 83.
Oh, Doug got 83 too.
No
oh my
way!
goodness. The
They
boys
got 83 and the girls
Of
got
course.
93. Well, that's
and they
really
were the longer ones and hanging out.
I
and
was out
finishing up their
first.
exam.
I remember
Yes.
when I got out of the exam, I was a little nervous because I left before you guys
Yes.
did. And I'm like, oh, am I missing something?
So,
We'll have to frame this. That's
yes,
so nice.
yes. Anyway, wonderful course. Let's do another cheers. Where's
All
my
right.
glass? There.
Cheers.
Cheers to W set.
W set.
Welcome back. Another great wine from the Golden Mile, the 2018 Cabernet Franc from Tin Horn Creek.
And you know what? It has such great hints of red berries and vanilla. I'm like, I could actually taste it this time. I'm impressed.
I'm so impressed.
Yes.
Yeah, that W set has done us both a lot of good.
Totally. And, you know, it's actually aged in oak barrels for a minimum of 12 months.
Wow, it
Yeah.
was very delicious. Anyways, we've got mail.
Okay.
I'll go first.
Of course.
Dear Trish and Jenny, I loved your show last week about the upcoming Total Makeover Challenge.
Nice.
How do I register? I live in Kelowna. Is that too far away?
Kelowna.
Tanya from Kelowna. Well, hi,
Nice.
Tanya.
Yes, Kelowna. Well, anywhere actually in the world you can do this program.
I
and
know,
register.
it's
So,
brand new.
Online.
Online,
Yeah,
and
I know.
it doesn't
It's
matter
so
where you
exciting.
live. It's so exciting, and it's actually been upped since the last episode. It's over $3,000 in gifts and services for everyone who
It's
registers.
So check out the gifts and services of what you actually get. It's absolutely amazing. And on totalmakeoverchallenge.com.
Yes.
Okay, so we
Next
have,
letter.
So, dear Trish and Jenny. You know what? They're all Trish and Jenny.
I know. Why do they?
Anybody
because
that
they know it's the Trish and
when
Jenny
you send
show.
it, you can do Jenny and Trish. That's okay. That works for us.
You can
also
put a
works
challenge
for
out there.
me.
Somebody write a letter that says, "Dear Jenny and Trish."
Yes,
and then maybe
please.
we'll switch it around.
Okay, so love your treasure trails. What has been your favorite hike so far?
Oh, that's such a good
And that's
question.
Debbie from Chilliwack. Yeah.
Nice. Well, what was your favorite so far?
I don't know. I love all those hikes, but I would have to say, just because it was new to me, this particular hike is the Pixel, the one that we went to up at the Falls Golf Course.
Oh, that was beautiful.
And it
Yes.
was like an enchanted forest.
It was like, when you went there, you literally felt like you were in a Disney movie. It was so magical.
All the big trees, and then the moss. Like there was so much moss that was hanging down from all the trees,
was
and
so
it was like
gorgeous.
a beautiful green of moss. And it was just like
And it was so, I remember it was so quiet too.
Yeah,
It was so beautiful.
Yeah, it was just like you're in this dream forest. It was,
it really was.
Yeah, so that was really cool. What about you?
Well, I'm going to have to say, I love that one. That was one of my favorites, but I really liked the Teapot Hill.
Oh yeah, I love
and
that
you know
too.
what I loved about it, because I'm the one filming,
Yeah.
is all the filming of the cool teapots there that other hikers just put there.
Yeah.
And it's so amazing.
Yeah.
Like, it's just so, it felt enchanting too,
so
like a Disney movie.
Another Disney. Well, we're Disney girls.
Yeah, we are Disney girls.
That's why we
yes.
like it.
But yeah, I loved the Teapot Hill.
Yes.
If you haven't done that one, I highly recommend it.
Yes, for sure.
Anyways, are we ready for our guest?
Yeah, we're going to be chatting with Karen McGregor, and Karen McGregor is a leadership and influence expert, international keynote speaker, and the best-selling author of several books, her latest being the Tao of Influence.
And she was a 2018 TEDx speaker with over 1 million views,
Wow,
and an
that's amazing.
international speaker, sharing the stage with Tony Robbins and John Gray and others. But first, a word from our sponsor. Welcome, Karen.
Yeah, thanks for coming to the show.
Thanks for having me here, Trish and Jenny.
So we just introduced you to everyone with your amazing bio,
Yeah.
but maybe you could share a bit about yourself personally.
Sure. I am a wonderful busy mom of two boys. They're actually adults now, 19 and 22. And I live in Abbotsford for the last 15 years, and it's been an amazing journey here. And so thank you for inviting me to
Yes.
Chilliwack. I absolutely love it here as well.
Ah.
So after taking your program on how to craft a powerful message and speak on stage with confidence and conviction, we wondered about your story and how you came to where you are today. So maybe you can share a little bit about that.
Well, for sure. You know, all those years back when I first started to be able to support people in speaking and selling on stage, it was a real challenge for me. And I think, right, Trish and Jen, this is how it happens. Yeah. We all have a challenge, and then we teach people about that. So back then, you know, I was a divorced mom of 2 young boys, and I was trying to figure out, how can I make things work? How can I, get back on track financially, and just having more time with my boys. And what everyone was telling me was, just go back to teaching, you know, you're good at it. But, you know, have you ever felt that, where your soul just knows something different, even though it could be on paper completely, obvious. But I'm grateful that I followed that call of my soul, and it wasn't easy. But in the end, I was able to have a successful business and to step into sharing with people how to speak and sell on stage.
Which is more important to find what you're passionate about, not what's on paper.
Yes. I always recommend that to people.
Yes, exactly.
Yes.
Yeah.
Anyways, what advice do you have for others who might be struggling to speak their truth or share an important message?
You know, that's one of the things that people ask me when they get help from me, is about how do we actually share our truth, especially when it's so near and dear to our heart. And that's one of the reasons that I ended up writing this book, in the last 3 years, the Tao of Influence, is because we can say a message, but it's not really necessarily our truth that we really want to speak to the world. So one of the things that I recommend is to go deep within, beyond all your fears, beyond all the hesitations and anxieties. What is the most important thing that you really want to share with the world? And tapping into that is actually why we become influential. It's not that we've chosen a particular path that looks good. It's more that it comes from a deeper part of us.
Wow.
And, we actually just took your course, Rock the Stage.
Yes.
And,
you had us both crying, although Jenny more than me.
But,
in a good way.
I think one of the biggest things that we learned, we went there to learn how to, speak and share our message. But I think the biggest thing that you saw in both of us was how we weren't sharing and connecting with our audience, because we had blockages in front of our past. So that was really interesting to discover. And I mean, that alone was such a huge thing to learn, to be able to present better to our audience.
Well, a lot of people don't realize, that it really is, speaking is so connected to all of our past wounds from family, from school, from maybe past partners that tell us we're not good enough, or that we shouldn't be speaking our truth to the world. And so all of those things show up when we come onto stage. And I'm glad that you were able to see that and work through that for yourself as well.
Yeah, you can't hide on stage.
No.
No, you sure can't.
I remember at the beginning of the course, you were saying that there's going to be times that we don't like you, and by the end we're going to love you. And I'm thinking, how can we not like you? And then halfway through, I don't like you.
Hey, that was her, not me. I liked you the whole time.
But no, I loved you by the end. But I was like, okay, you were discovering all these things about me, but you really helped us to understand better, and hopefully we'll be able to present and speak better to our audience. So I appreciated that.
Well, that's one of the things, is going through the emotions and the roller coaster ride to come to our own truth and to present it powerfully. And sometimes that does mean looking at ourselves and looking at others and making decisions that move us forward.
Right.
Wow. Well, we'll be right back and hear more about Karen's book after this message. So Karen, Let's talk about your book that you wrote called The Tao of Influence. What inspired you to write a book about influence using ancient wisdom as a foundation?
Well, the Tao is based on the Tao Te Ching, which is a 4,000-year-old wisdom text written by a Chinese philosopher, Lao Tzu. And I was fascinated with this book because, you know, I always looked at different messengers, people who influence, and wondering, what is the real foundation of that influence? And when I opened up the Tao, one of the first things that I read was that we can all have challenges, and in fact, we all do have challenges. But, you know, the way that we approach those challenges is what matters. So the Tao actually says that it is possible to have challenges and yet not experience them as challenges.
Oh.
So that's really was an enlightened moment for me, because I thought, could I live the rest of my life having what most people would perceive to be minor or major challenges and not actually experience them as chaos and emotional drama and the ups and downs, and just do what needs to be done without all of that getting involved? So it really inspired me to look at, you know, what is true influence? What is it that we're here to do? And I believe that if we can get through life without the chaos of those ups and downs and really understand that we always have a choice.
Right.
Even in times of COVID, the pandemic, all the, you know, terrible things that are going on right now, we always have a choice. And I think that my book speaks to that in a practical way. You know, how do we come to terms with everything that's going on and still be able to inspire and influence others?
Yes, that's great. So how can we all inspire and influence others in a time of this uncertainty and chaos?
Yes, well, certainly the very first part of my book talks about power and how we choose to use our power. And what I really get into is that our choice in how we use our power is all linked back to when we were little kids, to how we experienced life at that time and how we got our needs met. And if we didn't get our needs met, what ends up happening is that child doesn't know any better, so tries a different way to get their needs met. And once they get their needs met in that way, and it's often not a healthy way, it becomes a pattern.
Right.
So things like control, you know, being dominating, wanting to control everything, the need to be right. So what I have found is that, you know, there's 8 different patterns of power, if you will. And if we look at how we are in times of stress, we can see very clearly which of these patterns we're choosing to move into.
Right.
But if we don't realize it, we just continue and there's no change, and we'll always be the way we are. That's right.
Yeah.
Yes. And so true influence is where we can wake up to those power patterns and realize, wow, I have a choice here. May not be easy, but it is a choice, and that we can make that. And so I try to provide in the book the practical steps and solutions to those power patterns that we all have.
Right.
Wow,
And that's
power
great 'cause-
patterns.
Yeah, and it's great to go back to the childhood, because it's always about the childhood.
Yes,
And
as we found out.
and you know, it gives you the understanding. You have to have that understanding to be able to acknowledge and move forward. So
Yes.
yeah.
Yes, well, both of you have such powerful stories too, and we all have a story. And the thing is to acknowledge that the story does support us in our power patterns and can bring us to a great level of, as an example, success in our business, but may also at the same time have the shadow side of the power patterns, where it might cause, as an example, a lot of friction or relationships ending and that kind of thing. So it's important to be self-aware.
Yes,
Yes.
exactly. So to be able to use those tools, not just the workplace, but in your home and with your relationships and
Yes, yes, and really, I think that's what influence is. It's not just about those of us, for instance, in business or have a professional life. It's our entire life. At every moment, I always say we have the choice to make someone's world better, to change someone, even in an instant. Every moment we have that choice. And if we look at it that way, we're really very powerful human beings, aren't we?
Yes,
Yes.
absolutely.
Yeah, so to me, that just says anyone who needs self-awareness, they need to read your book. Would you not agree?
Well, I definitely agree that we do need practical tools.
Yes.
So what I've done is take the wisdom of a very ancient book, it's only 81 verses, and make it practical for everyday people who want to make a difference in other people's lives.
Wow.
And, you know, I was, reading a part of your book, and I love your saying that influence isn't about getting someone to do something, it's about inspiring positive change in others and on the planet. And it just says it all right there. So maybe you can share how someone can actually find this book.
For sure. So there's two ways. You can go to Amazon if you have an Amazon account. And otherwise, you can go to KarenMcGregor.com and you can purchase the book directly from me. If you do that, you get a bunch of gifts with it. So, yeah. Everybody likes gifts. Yes, so Karen McGregor's McGregor.com.
Awesome.
Excellent. Well, thank you so much.
Thank you for having me here today.
I loved having you here today.
And look forward to reading your book.
Yes, I have to get it from Jenny now. She wouldn't let me have it, so I got to wait till
I wanna
she
read it
finishes.
first.
I think someone else needs a copy. I've got an extra one here. I'm going to pass that on to you today.
All right, well, thanks again
Thank you,
so
Karen.
much.
Thank
And
you.
Next up, Treasure Trails.
Welcome to Treasure Trails. And we're here in Vancouver Island at Swan Lake Christmas Hill hike.
And since it's Christmas coming up, in a while, we thought it would be nice to do a Christmas hike.
Not knowing exactly how it relates, but yes, let's go check it out.
All right. Which way, Jenny? We're already at our first cross in the path. I think it's a loop, right?
This way.
All right, let's go. So many choices.
Which one do we go on? Okay, there's over here, there's over there, there's here.
Well, we have 4 choices here, and let's do
Christmas
that
Hill.
one. Christmas Hill first. Okay. So we actually have 2 sets of stairs to choose from. Which way, Jenny?
Apparently, to the right is to the peak.
My left, your right.
Exactly.
We're at the top of Christmas Hill.
So beautiful, gorgeous. You can see the ocean and the city.
Let's do a roundabout view.
Yes.
360 view up here.
Absolutely gorgeous.
Wow. Wow.
You get dizzy.
We're back at our confusing spot where it had 4 pathways.
So we already did Christmas Hill, so now we're gonna do Swan Lake.
Let's go.
Here we are at the beautiful Swan Lake Bridge. Ah! Oh, let's just do a Swan Lake move. Do you know that? Plie.
Plie.
Arms up. Well, we're at the end of our treasure trail.
And what a beautiful hike. Good choice.
Thank you.
Yes. We didn't see any swans though.
No.
At Swan Lake, but there's some very special things about swans.
Well, yes. What is that special thing about swans?
Well, I think we should ask that question for our treasure option because, of course, we can't hide a treasure here. So,
All right. So
yeah.
the question is, what is special about the way swans bond and mate?
Yes, their courtship.
Yes.
Anyway, happy treasure hunting!
And we're back.
And such a beautiful park on the edge of downtown Victoria, and a nature sanctuary with a walk around the beautiful Swan Lake.
Yes, and then the trail up Christmas Hill gave us a beautiful 360-degree
Absolutely
view
gorgeous.
of Victoria. It was
Yeah.
so beautiful.
And what an inspirational speaker Karen is,
Oh,
and
yes.
a great teacher. I loved her rock the stage.
Yes, and it was great getting to know all the other people that were rocking the
Yes.
stage with us. And you, Jenny, I have some pictures of you rocking it.
Yes. Well, I have pictures of you too, so.
Well, anyways, let's show everyone how much fun we had. That's Jenny on the guitar.
Oh, my
Jenny,
goodness.
you are a great guitar player, or at least an air guitar player. And
Yeah.
you don't look anything like, it doesn't look like you at all.
Yeah, definitely air guitar only. But you make the perfect ABBA girl.
Thank you. Yes, ABBA, I loved ABBA since I was like 15,
Me too.
14,
Yeah.
15. It was my favorite
Yeah.
band. And we did the song, Take a Chance on Me.
And
'Cause I want people to take a chance on me.
there you go. And we had Satisfaction by the Stones.
Oh, yeah, you
and,
had the boy
yeah, I
song.
was jealous because you got the girl song. I had to do the guy song. Anyway, we have a treasure trail winner. Congratulations to Joanne and Ted Hartung for winning the float certificate from the Float House in Abbotsford.
Yes, this is from our Cultus Lake hike, or it really was a Sunday stroll. And floating, wow, so exciting. I can't wait to try floating myself.
Yeah, you have to. It's absolutely amazing. It's so relaxing. And anyone wanting to find out more, check out season 1. We have an interview with the Abbotsford Float House there.
Yes, that was great.
Now, for next week, we are interviewing Georgie Lowe. She is a purpose diviner, relationship builder, and believer in human potential.
And her why is to inspire others to take action to create the life they really want. A life that truly fulfills them.
I'm very excited.
I know, that's
Yeah.
I love her tagline.
Yeah. So anyone who wants to share with us questions, feedback, or requests for topics, email chillandchattv@gmail.com.
Until next time,
Cheers.
Keep chilling and chatting.